Eating healthy is all about making simple swaps so that you can still enjoy your favorite foods while just cutting out the stuff that you don't need. It's not about giving up, it's about finding better options that make you feel better. So today I'm sharing 12 of my go-to food swaps that made the biggest difference for me in my health and weight loss journey. A quick note about the products I'm showing today. I got some of these from my local grocery store, but most of them actually came from Thrive Market, who is my sponsor for this video. Thrive Market has always been my go-to place for finding healthy, sugar-free, high-protein foods online, and now it's helping me to make the switch to find these healthy swaps to foods that have questionable toxic ingredients or high sugar foods. When I check food labels, I focus on a few key things. First is protein. How much am I getting? Second is sugar and carbs. Is it natural sugar? Is it added sugar? How much fiber is in there? And of course, I'm always scanning the ingredient list to see if we're adding any unnecessary preservatives or additives or just ingredients I don't recognize. That's how I basically decide if something is a go or a no-go. And with Thrive Market, they make that really easy. First, they have a filter where I can search by different types of diets or ways of eating, like high protein, keto, organic, Whole30 compatible, and so many more. Second, using their app, I can scan a barcode on the food packaging that will show me certified organic and non-toxic alternatives to the products that I can find on Thrive Market. And third, you can easily see nutrition information and ingredients in all their products when you shop for them online. Plus, I love that it ships quickly and right to my door. You can go to thrivemarket.com/KetoFocus, and with your first order, you're going to get 30% off of everything so you can stock up, and you're going to get a free gift worth up to $60. I'll leave the link down below in my description box, so if you're not a member of Thrive Market yet, take advantage of this amazing deal. I'm all about pasta. Italian food is one of my weaknesses, but let's be real, it's not always the best choice, mostly because of how it's processed and the flours that are used, so you're not really getting much out of it. I found an amazing alternative that actually gives you a real pasta feel. It's not just like having zucchini noodles or spaghetti squash, which is fine if you're trying to be 100% clean, whole foods based, but if you're wanting something that tastes, looks, and feels like actual pasta, then you need to try a lupini bean pasta. So I want to compare this to penne pasta. This is a standard box of penne pasta. You can see that 3/4 of a cup is 42 grams of carbs, and only 2 of that is from fiber and 7 grams of protein. This one from Kaizen, which makes a lupini bean pasta, same shape, we got our ziti penne shape. In around the same serving size, you're getting 21 carbs, but 15 grams of fiber and 20 grams of protein. So this is a much better option. It cooks up similar, tastes similar, feels similar. I don't know why more people aren't making the switch to this, because it's the best. Jam is a staple in our house. My kids like to make PB&J sandwiches. They like to put jam on their toast, mix it in with some plain yogurt. It's one of those things that can seem harmless, but if you actually look at the label, it tells a different story, because a lot of brands add in added sugars that aren't necessary. Like, look at this one. This brand, first ingredient is strawberries, but then we have high fructose corn syrup, and then sugar. So tons of different sugar. The carb count is 13 grams per tablespoon and 0 grams of protein. My go-to alternative that I pick up from Thrive Market is this one by Smash Foods, and it is a chia seed based jam. 1 tablespoon has 6 grams of carbs and 1 gram of fiber. And if you look at the ingredients, it's raspberries, it's sweetened with dates, it has chia seeds to help make it thick, and lemon juice. There's no added sugar at all. You just get sugar from the dates and the fruit itself. To go along with the jam, we always have peanut butter or almond butter in the house. It's another food that you think should be healthy because it's made with peanuts and should have some protein in it. But if you're not paying attention to the label and the brand that you're using, it can have a lot of unnecessary, potentially harmful ingredients and a lot of sugars that might be added as well. So looking at this common household brand, I see the first ingredient is roasted peanuts, but then it has sugar, hydrogenated vegetable oils, and we are looking at 6 grams of carbs per 2 tablespoons, 2 grams of fiber, and 7 grams of protein. I don't know about you, but I just think that peanut butter should just have 1 ingredient, maybe 2, and that's peanuts and salt. Because if you're making peanut butter on your own, all it takes to do if you want to make homemade peanut butter is just to pulse up peanuts and then add a little bit of salt. You don't need to add extra oils to it. So instead, I always get a natural peanut butter like this one. All the ingredients is just peanuts and salt. And we have 7 grams of carbs per 2 tablespoons, 3 grams of fiber, and 8 grams of protein. Thrive Market also also makes a delicious creamy peanut butter that is also just made with one ingredient, peanuts. Soda, or pop, if you live in a different part of the world, you might call it that, is one of those popular beverages that just makes me cringe. It's something that my mom limited in our household when we were growing up, and we only had it on special occasions, and I do the same for my kids too. We never keep it in the house. The amount of sugar in just one bottle or can is absolutely insane. Like, this whole bottle has 64 grams of sugar in it. Oh wait, sorry, 63. And typically it's a sugar in the form of high fructose corn syrup, which in my opinion is worse than regular sugar. Because unlike regular sugar, which can be metabolized in basically every cell in your body, high fructose corn syrup is only metabolized primarily in the liver. And when you consume it, the liver rapidly consumes a large portion of it into fat. It specifically forms fat around the liver, that visceral fat, which can lead to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease over time. Not to mention you can increase your triglycerides, you can develop insulin resistance, weight gain, all those things can happen if you consume soda regularly. And the diet soda really isn't that much of a better option for you. Most are packed with artificial sweeteners like sucralose, aspartame, ACE-K, which can disrupt the metabolism, your gut health, and just make you have cravings even more. I'm still guilty of having the occasional diet soda every once in a while, but I have started to just phase that out. I don't keep it in the house anymore. And instead, well, mostly I opt for just ice water is my favorite. But another thing I'll do is take a sparkling water and add some berries to it, like some frozen berries that kind of work almost like as ice cubes. And that just adds a little hint of additional sweetness that just satisfies any sort of soda bubbly craving that I might have. There are brands that have come out with sodas that are made from better for you sweeteners like stevia. This one by Olipop just has a lower sugar in it. It's sweetened with apple juice, kava syrup, and just some other juice concentrates, it looks like. Thrive Market also has a wide selection of sparkling waters, and fun flavors too. Like, this one's a lavender cucumber. Before I became low carb, I used to think that yogurt was a healthy snack, until I read the label. I can't believe how much sugar they add to yogurt. This one container of yogurt has 26 carbs and 18 grams of sugar. 13 of them are added sugars. Instead, I like to use low carb yogurt brands like this one, Too Good. It has only 2 grams of sugar in just one container, which is the same size as this one is, and 4 grams of total carbs. 12 grams of protein too. I'll either do that or just do a plain Greek yogurt like this one that's 5% milk fat. There's only 5 grams of carbs and 15 grams of protein. And you can add sweetener to this, sugar-free sweetener. You can add flavor extracts. You could mix it in with some of that jam that I purchased earlier. These are all great swaps for just regular sugar-filled yogurt. I know this might sound cliche, but I legit lived on ramen during the first 6 months of college until I realized I was still hungry after having 2 bags of it, and I always wondered why I was gaining so much weight. This stuff has no nutrition. Luckily, I found a replacement for it though. I found this off of Thrive Market. It is a high protein, low carb ramen noodle bowl, and the flavor is spicy red miso. And if you look at the nutrition label, 1 cup is 300 calories. You have 18 grams of carbohydrates, but 10 of those are from fiber and 18 grams of protein. If we compare it to this bowl of spicy noodles, you can see that we have 370 calories. It is 57 grams of carbs and only 2 grams of fiber and only 8 grams of protein. I'm gonna go with this one. Something that my kids beg for me to get them all the time is cereal, and it's something that I refuse to get them unless it's a special occasion like we're camping or something like that. Cereal seems like it would be an easy breakfast for kids, but most of them are just basically a bowl of sugar. Even the ones that look healthy are actually packed with refined carbohydrates that will spike your blood sugar, and it's gonna leave you hungry in about an hour or so. Plus, a lot of cereals have artificial flavors and dyes and preservatives, just stuff that we don't need. Instead of cereal, I've started getting them granola, but even then, some granolas you have to check the label because a lot of them will have a ton of added sugars and carbohydrates. Like, one bowl of this stuff has 41 carbs and 16 sugars. 15 of them are added sugars. I picked up this brand from Thrive Market. It's Purely Elizabeth. Actually, my grocery store carries this too. And in basically the same amount, there's only 8 total carbs, 2 grams of fiber, and 4 grams of sugar. Plus, we're using healthy ingredients like seeds and nuts and coconut oil and cinnamon and vanilla and almond butter and coconut sugar, and it tastes a lot better too. My next healthy swap is for milk. Not that I think milk is bad, I still give it to my kids. I have just added it to my list because of something that I found out recently, which is that I have a sensitivity to dairy, specifically milk. So instead of using milk in my coffee, I made the switch to using specifically this type of milk. This is a flax milk, and it's from the brand Good Karma. I get it from Thrive Market. I love this stuff. It has 5 grams of protein per cup and only 1 carb. And it's made from flaxseed, so I'm getting some omega-3s in there as well. And it's still creamy and still tastes just as good when I make my lattes using this milk. My next swap is one for mayonnaise. Regular mayo is basically just soybean oil or canola oil mixed with eggs and a little bit of vinegar and salt. They even have some sugar in there, some preservatives. All those seed oils can cause a ton of inflammation, and it's just not needed to make mayo. I mean, I've made mayo several times on my own and didn't use seed oil. Well, I did use a seed oil, but I used one that was actually good for you, and I used avocado oil, which is actually what I purchased from Thrive Market. This one by Primal Kitchen, they make a mayo that's made from avocado oil. Avocado oil is perfectly fine to consume. I consume it all the time. It doesn't cause all that inflammation like other seed oils do. And here, the ingredients here is avocado oil, vinegar, eggs, egg yolk, salt, rosemary extract, mustard seed extract. That's it. These are such a nostalgic snack, and they're so good, but they're basically just a mixture of sugar, corn syrup, hydrogenated oils, and artificial ingredients, refined carbs. It's just all wrapped up in this shiny little plastic paper. Plus, they have no protein or any real nutrition whatsoever, so they're really not doing us any favors, other than that they taste delicious and give you a small amount of pleasure for a fraction of time. Instead, I found these from Magic Spoon. I got these at Thrive Market, so I thought I would try them. If we compare the two ingredients, the original has toasted rice cereal, corn syrup, fructose, vegetable oil. Let's see, less than 1 gram of protein and 17 total carbs, 0 fiber, and 8 grams of added sugar. These ones by Magic Spoon, we have casein, tapioca fiber, allulose, almond butter, inulin, and a few other ingredients. Looks like it's sweetened with stevia. Carbohydrates, total carbohydrates is 17, but our fiber is 9 grams. And since it's sweetened with allulose and it also has glycerin in it, so I guess you subtract 1 gram of carb from that. So there's only 2 net carbs per bar and 12 grams of protein. Oh my gosh, they smell amazing. Look at these. Wow. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Nothing is really probably going to beat the original, or if you make a batch of homemade ones. But this is like a very, very, very close second. I think that they only lost by maybe like a hair, but it's still really good. Chex Mix. We love this stuff, and it might seem like a better option than chips, but actually it's loaded with refined carbs, vegetable oils, and a ton of sodium. And most of the crunchy pieces are just white flour baked into different shapes, which means they digest fast, spike your blood sugar, and they leave you hungry again just way too soon. Instead, I've been getting this replacement by Catalina Crunch. They make their own version of a Chex Mix, and it's actually very comparable. I think it tastes really good. And if you look at the ingredients, this version only has 10 grams of total carbs. 5 of that is from fiber, 1 gram of sugar, and it has 17 grams of protein. And the ingredients, we have pecans, almonds, pea protein, a flour blend that's made from corn and chickpea. You're still gonna get that satisfying crunch, but without all the carbs and a lot more protein too. If you're on a low carb or keto diet, you know that beans are basically off the table. Even though a lot of them will be high in protein, they're just really too high in carbs to justify the quantity that we do eat, unless you're just eating like 1 or 2 beans. I do have a replacement for beans that I use in my soups and chilies, and it's the lupini bean. Remember how I talked about that in the beginning with the pasta? Well, they actually make, it's a bean. So, and it makes the best replacement if you want to have beans in soups, chilies, different recipes. And I get these from Thrive Market. They're loaded with protein, like I mentioned before. It's 4 grams of protein for 15 beans and 3 total carbs, and 3 of them are fiber, so it's 0 net carbs. These make a perfect snack too. You can add them to some salads. I actually like to use them to make hummus. If you want that recipe, you must try it. It's so easy to make and tastes just like regular hummus. Click right here to see how I do it.